Well, g'day, you're with Tim Foster from Blue Water Sailing School, and today we are at Melbourne's notorious RIP, the Port Phillip Heads. We're on Boomer, we've just come through the heads, and in this video I'm going to help you understand how you can cross this body of water safely and confidently. We're going to show you how the ocean floor impacts the flow of water through the RIP and what that means for how you navigate here. We're going to look at the interaction between the water inside the bay and outside the ocean and how that creates the slack, which is the best time to cross. And we're going to learn how we can understand the traffic movements through the RIP to ensure that we keep clear of ships and other dangers. In order to get out of Melbourne and to enjoy Tassie, Sydney, Airlie Beach, you've got to transit the RIP. A lot of people don't because they lack the confidence. But it's not that hard. There's just a few things that you need to know and you can cross it confidently and safely. So stick with me and we'll get through it in this course. The Port Phillip Heads, or the RIP as it's known, is an important, complex and challenging body of water for anyone wanting to get out into Bass Strait or from Bass Strait into Melbourne. It can be absolutely benign one day and be like the gates of hell the next. What makes the RIP so challenging is that you have an entrance the same width as the Sydney Heads, but with nearly 50 times the volume of water behind it, funneling through relatively shallow water, with a large reef on one side and submerged rocks on the other. And a complex system of channels, navigation lights and leads. And add to that, a seafloor that has massive 80-metre cliffs, a swell that is built up over thousands of miles from the Southern Ocean, sudden weather changes, more than 6,200 shipping movements a year, and you have a very challenging piece of water on which to navigate. Well, let me introduce you to this body of water on one of its calm days. But of course, it's not always calm. Speaking with Boating Down Under, RIP pilot John Carroll had these sobering words to say.
Yeah, we've had ups and downs, literally, and we lost the George Tobin in 1991, in August 1991, when we lost the pilot and both crew members. Yeah. And that, to the best of our knowledge, that boat was pitch poled in approaching a 30-metre sea, just a few hundred yards from where we are now.
30-metre waves.
Yeah. You occasionally get in the heads, especially with the southwesterly, there's a send coming up from the southwest, hits the continental shelf, and the actual amplitude of that swell wave just increases exponentially, sometimes 3 or 4 times what it might. So if you get a 10-metre sea, you can knock it up to 20 or 30 metres quite comfortably.
How would you rate the RIP at its worst in comparison to...
In terms of the weather conditions and the degree of difficulty, it's amongst the top 3 or 4 in the world as the degrees of difficulty. Yes.
Really?
Yep.
So that's how dangerous it is.
It is. It's very dangerous, and one must emphasise, particularly to the smaller boats, that be very, very aware that this is a very dangerous piece of water. however sound and fit your boat may seem to be, this will test both you and the boat. Definitely.
To navigate the Rip safely, you do of course need good seamanship and a sound vessel. But there's also 4 key things that you need to understand. The first is the nature of the seafloor or hydrography. Second, the channels and the leads that mark them. Then there's the tidal dynamics and how these create the slack. And finally, how to monitor shipping and avoid a collision. This course will guide you through each of these 4 elements. It's based on numerous crossings of the Rip, extensive research, and private briefings with the Deputy Harbour Master and his senior controllers at Melbourne VTS, the Vessel Traffic Service. I'll provide you with information, resources, and dispel some of the myths that can mislead navigators as they prepare to cross this body of water. And we'll consider the question of which channel to use as you transit. And my answer may surprise you.